सुप्रभातम सुस्वागतम. Karma Yoga is the path of action. Yesterday we saw that we have to transcend the gunas and all conflicts are triggers to go beyond the gunas. Why should we go beyond the gunas? Because gunas are still the bondages. Even the sattva is also a bondage. It's a golden bondage. Tamas is we have seen this. Tamas is the iron backbone. The silver bondage is rajas. The golden bondage. They are all bondages still. That's why even if a person is doing all sattvic activities, still he may have many diseases. He may have a stroke, he may have a heart attack, many other things. He is doing all good actions. Why? Inherently there is a very deep attachment. And that attachment brings a lot of tensions and stresses. Therefore, Krishna says, it's not enough if you are good. It is not enough if you are a religious person. It is not enough that you are following all the good actions of the sattvic character, all the 10 commandments, and all the Manudharma Shastras given there, Yama and Niyama. Why? Because still there is the inherent attachment to these gunas. So I have to rise above. Therefore, Krishna Bhagavan has given opportunities for people to go higher. In nature, there are difficulties, challenges, and conflicts and problems that are given to us to change ourselves, to raise high. Therefore, conflicts arise even for very good people, great personalities, very subtle conflicts, conflict between one duty and another duty, conflict between one duty and moral stance, conflict between one ethical standard and another moral things, questioning the very basis of duty, ethics, morality, trying to understand the very purpose of life. All these things are wonderful triggers, they are boons. We had one of the diabetic patients here who came to our Arogyadham. He got wonderful results. He was going back after 15 days. Then during the feedback session, which we normally do on Thursdays, he came and started talking. I thank God for giving me this diabetes in my life, he said. Diabetes is a great boon for me, he said. Everybody got said, what? Diabetes is a boon? How? He said, because of the diabetes, which was aggravating, which was uncontrolled, I came over here. After coming here, I started understanding the intricacies of life. All the wisdom base our grand culture gives us. The yoga and spiritual law. How to resolve these conflicts. Therefore, should I not thank my diabetes for giving me that such a wonderful opportunity? This is the way we have to look at difficulties, problems in life. Convert every difficulty into an opportunity. Difficulties are meant as opportunities for you to grow. Therefore, Krishna provides to all of us wonderful opportunities through conflicts, through very, very subtle problems in life. Then you have to rise higher. To rise higher, you must understand the secrets. Yesterday we saw the secret one. The secret one is to realize that there is akarma knit into our life. Therefore, don't give all your priorities only to action, 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 action. There will be good action, bad action, or good action and special action. Vikarma, Vinobaji interprets that as not Vikruta karma, but Vishesha karma. So you may be doing good actions and also special actions you are doing. All that come under the region of karma itself. That alone will not suffice to understand. You must have the understanding of a karma. You saw yesterday. So, inherently present in that is the capacity to detach. What is the secret number 2? Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga bhujyate Yogastha kuru karmani. Krishna is telling. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. It is the removal of the sangha, removal of the attachment, reduction of the attachment, diffusion of the strong attachment is the key essence of karma yoga. It is not detachment from work, it is not detachment from action, but it is detachment internally. Attachment should be reduced. That's the key essence. Asaktahasam karyam karma kuru says. That's the karma yoga shloka that way. Karmanevata yadikaraha ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhu ma te sangha asta karmani. Therefore here you see that you start the action but you are not assured of the result. Why? There are some unknown laws between action and result. You may get the result you want, a better result you may get, or you may not get the result that you want. That I explained the other day. So after having got the result, you have the freedom again to maintain equanimity, or to get depressed, or to get excited. There yoga comes into picture. After getting the result, again you apply your freedom. When you start the action, you have a freedom. When you get the result, then again you have the freedom. But to get the result, you don't have the freedom. You have got right for performing the action, and you have no right to get the result that you want. Because the laws are unknown there. Therefore, what is to be done? Work detached. Siddhi asiddhyoho samaha bhutva. Samatvam yoga uchyate. When you get the result that you want, normally we get excited. When you don't get the result that you want, asiddhi, you get depressed. Krishna says, no, that is not yoga. What is to be done? You have to maintain equanimity. You have to maintain objectivity. Samatva is yoga. Balance is yoga. Everywhere is balance, balance, balance. That's the key essence. So, yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Therefore, that detachment should be continuously operative. And then, what is to be done? Yogastaha kuru karmani. You must tune yourself to that yoga sthiti and do action. What is that yogastha sthiti? Akarma sthiti. So, you must see that and tune yourself to that inner silence and do all activities. First secret is understand that there is silence, there is akarma knit in our life. Then the second secret is then put that all the time in that akarma and do the action. पहला रहस्य क्या बताया? कल बता रहा था आपको कि हम अकर्म को पहचाना अपने जीवन में. अकर्म और कर्म दोनों साथ साथ पे चलता है. हम अकर्म को छोड़ देते हैं, परंतु अकर्म से इतना आनंद मिलता है, इतना विश्रांति मिल सकती है, इसको छोड़ के हम सिर्फ कर्म ही लगे रहते हैं. इसलिए सब तनाव और तनाव जनित अलग अलग दुख और बीमारियां होते हैं. इसलिए कृष्ण बोल रहे हैं नहीं, तुम अकर्म को ही जानना पहचानना अपने जीवन में लगाना. और दूसरा अभी रहस्य क्या बोल रहा है? सदा वो अकर्म में रहते हुए ही काम करना. कर्मण्यकर्मय पश्येत कर्मणि च कर्मयः सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु सयुक्त कृत्स्न कर्मकृत् कर्मणि अकर्मयः पश्येत्। कर्म करने के समय में अकर्म को देखते हुए काम करना, ये कैसा हो सकता है? काम कर सकते हैं, नहीं तो बिना काम बैठ सकते हैं। परंतु कृष्ण बोल रहे नहीं नहीं, जो कर्म करने के समय में अकर्म को देखते हुए काम करता है। क्या मतलब? आपके मन में दो स्तर होते हैं, सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्म स्तर अंदर और बाहर के। अंदर के मन के सूक्ष्म स्तर पर मन को शांत रखना है, और बाहर के मन के जो स्थूल रूप होता है उसमें काम करते जाइए, कोई बात नहीं। ये इसका विशेष है। योगस्थ होकर मन के अंतराल में शांति से रहते हुए, आनंद से रहते हुए बाहर का सब काम कीजिए। यह है दूसरा रहस्य कृष्ण बोल रहा है, अकर्म को रखते हुए काम करना। द होल सीक्रेट इज to ground our souls, anchor our souls in that inner silence, in the deeper subtler layers of the mind, and do all activities outside. ನೆನ್ನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂಚೂರು ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಕರ್ಮ ಯೋಗ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ದಿರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ, ಹಾಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ವಿಷವಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಹಾಲನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಮೊಸರು ಮಾಡಿ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ ತೆಗೆದು ಬೆಣ್ಣೆನ ನೀರು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂಟಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಅಂಟದೀರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಚಾಕಚಕ್ಯತೆಯೇ ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗ. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿ ವಿ ಗುಂಡಪ್ಪನವರದ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮನ ಕಗ್ಗದ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಎರಡು ಕೋಣೆಗಳ ಮಾಡು ಮನದಾಲಯದಿ ವಿರಮಿಸೊಬ್ಬನೆ ಮೌನದೊಳ ಮನೆಯ ಶಾಂತಿಯಲಿ ಹೊರ ಕೋಣೆಯಲಿ ಲೋಗಲಾಟಗಳ ನೀನಾಡು ವರ ಯೋಗ ಸೂತ್ರವಿದು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉದಾತ್ತವಾದಂತಹ ಈ ಭವ್ಯ ರಹಸ್ಯ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಡಿ ವಿ ಜಿ ಅವರು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮನ ಕಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಳಪದರ ಹೊರಪದರ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಏನೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಷಣ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಒಂದು ಅಂತರಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದುಗಡ ಕಳವಳ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ನನಗೇನಾಗಿದೆ, ಮನೇಲಿ ಏನೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು, ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಕೊರಿತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಒಳಪದರ. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಎರಡು ಕೋಣೆಗಳಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಳಕೋಣೆಯನ್ನು ಶುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಳಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಆನಂದವಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಒಳಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಹೊರಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಇರಲಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗದ ರಹಸ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಸಮಯ ಕರ್ಮಣಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕರ್ಮ ಯಪ್ಪಶ್ಯೇತ್, ಯಾರು ಅಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ನೋಡುತ್ತಾರೋ, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಕರ್ಮ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತ. ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ವರ್ಸ್ ಐ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ, the famous poet D.V. Gundappa, he says that imagine that there are two chambers in your mind, the inner chamber and outer chamber. Inner chamber is the one that you have to cleanse and keep it all the time in that silence. Keep that inner thing all the time in that blissful awareness. Outside do any activity, doesn't matter. You are a professor, you are a computer expert, you are a housewife, you may be a person who is doing chapati, whatever you are doing, doesn't matter. What work you do is immaterial, but how you do, tune yourself to the inner silence in the case. I'll take the same example further of the rocket. Because I was in NASA, I always take this example. I was very fascinated with this. So, in the beginning, you have the action. You choose the right action. So, having chosen the right action, then you don't allow the trajectory to just go. They go on monitoring every moment in the computer. Every millisecond, how the rocket is moving towards the moon. They all monitor. If there is a slight change in the orbit, they know it is going to go and then it will crash. What is to be done? Immediately there are small rockets that are put along with the main rocket. And these rockets are fired and you bring that back to the trajectory. This is the secret. Krishna is telling that yogastha, you should tune yourself to that silence at every moment. And therefore, your very action itself will become a yoga. Now we are sitting there all the time, your mind should be in that silence, hearing me. You are standing, walking, eating, drinking, doing any activity. All the time your inner silence should be there. So inner silence is the key essence. So normally what happens, it will go away. Take another example. A person who is driving a boat, navigating towards the right direction in the sea. A big cyclonic wind comes. No? Or a disturbance starts coming, wind starts coming. What he has to do with his intelligence, he must carefully monitor his entire hood of the boat and see that the boat goes in the right direction. Every moment, every millisecond is a challenge because the wind is coming so fast. It's trying to blow you up in another direction. But you must suitably turn your hood, therefore make use of that energy and go in the right direction. Therefore, lot of attractions in life. Sense pleasures will attract us. More and more gadgets we have prepared. If you go to a super bazaar, you will see all fantastic things which will attract you in all fronts. Similarly, in life there are so many attractions and repulsions that start coming. That will try to make you go away from your path. The trajectory that you have taken to reach the moksha will be disturbed by a large number of obstacles. What should be done? All the time being aware. Awareness is the key essence. That's the dimension that he is telling. So this is the dimension of keeping awareness. Then what is the third secret? Akarmani karmaya pashe. In the same shloka which I chanted. Once more let us chant. Karmanya karmaya pashet. Akarmani cha karmayaha. Sabuddhiman manusheshu. Sayukta krutsna karma krit. In the shloka there are two secrets he is giving. One is karmani akarmaya pashet. One who sees silence in activities. That is the inner layer of the mind, all the time in silence, outside doing the activity. That is the process of detachment. Now he is telling the next secret. You take that silence, that is akarma. Don't think that's a unique state, that's the final state. You have to understand there is karma inherently present in it. Seeing karma in akarma. Seeing action in non-action. Is the third secret he is saying. Because that silence is not the ultimate silence and the naishkarmya of moksha. It is still in the phase of development. Because at that level of silence, there are still vasanas and samskaras, all types of karma bandhanas still there in our personality. That's what we have to see. A simple example, let us take. Now, as for youngsters, we all have played top, You take the top and turn it and then do that. It goes on swirling. When it's swirling, the top is swirling, a child will come and try to catch it. Why does it do that? The child thinks that there is a top is stationary, just like any other object. And when an object is there, because they haven't taken, when that child is taking, it thinks it is stationary. The top is stationary. Top is non-action. It is not doing action. This is a normal understanding of the child. But we all know, it is not silent, it is not in non-action, but there is a lot of action going on, wonderful swim going on, and that is to see action in non-action. That's the secret. So similarly, in the so-called silence of the mind, you are sitting for meditation, mind has become very silent, very calm. No? Don't think that's the ultimate. You have to understand there is a lot of inner turmoil that is there. Subtle imbalances are there. Subtle doshas are there. Subtle gunas are there. And subtle, vasanas, samskaras are all there. Deep-rooted fears are there. All that you have to remove. That is the key essence. So that is the third secret Krishna is giving. In the so-called silence, there is action which has to be removed. ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಸುಮ್ಮನಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊತಾರೆ, ನನಗೆ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು, ನನಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉನ್ನತ ಕೈವಲ್ಯನೇ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು, ನನಗೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಇದಾಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಥಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹಳಬರಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ತಮಸ್ಸೇನೋ ರಜಸ್ಸೇನೋ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೋಪತಾಪಗಳೇನೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ವಾಸನೆಗಳು ಹಾಗೇ ಉಳಿದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನಸ್ಸು ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ತಾತ್ಕಾಲಿಕವಾಗಿ. ಆದರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಸ್ತವ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಹೋಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅಗ್ನಿ ಪರ್ವತದಂತೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಇವರಾಗಿ. तीसरा सीक्रेट बोल रहा है, ये क्या रहस्य बोल रहा है कि हम जो भी मन का शांत स्थिति बोलते हैं, अकर्म जिसको बोलते हैं, ये अकर्म नैष्कर्म नहीं है, मोक्ष नहीं है, अंतिम नहीं है. तो वो अकर्म में भी कर्म है. किस रूप में है कर्म? वो वासना, अलग अलग संस्कार है, कर्म बंधन है. उधर हजारों हमारा जीवन में हम इसको इकट्ठा करके आ रहे हैं, ये सब हमारे अंदर है. ये सब को हमको निकालना है. क्या है अंदर? काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मद, मात्सर्य है. अलग अलग तरीके का भय है अंदर. ये सब अंदर के जो स्थिति है उसको निकालना पड़ेगा हमको. पूरा से पूरा उसको सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा, तभी ठीक होगा. इसलिए कृष्ण भगवान बोल रहा है कि मन के शांत स्थिति को परम ऐसा मत सोचो. बहुत लोग ये गलत करते हैं. बड़े बड़े सन्यासी लोग, बड़े बड़े ज्ञानी लोग सोचते हैं कि मैं आनंद में और शांत स्थिति में ज्ञान हो गया मुझे एक बार, ऐसा सोचते हैं. मैं परमात्मा ब्रह्म स्वरूप मैं मान लिया, मैं उसको ढूंढ लिया, मुझे एनलाइटनमेंट हो गया तो परम अवस्था में पहुंच लिया बोलते हैं. नहीं भैया, यही बोल रहे हैं, ये अंतिम स्थिति नहीं है. आपके अंदर महान अंदर के भय है और अलग अलग तरीके का काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, मात्सर्य सब भरा हुआ है. ये सबको हमको निकालना पड़ेगा, तभी आप साफ होकर उन स्थिति में जा सकते हैं. इसलिए अंदर के ये कमतियों को देखना हमको. अकर्मणि कर्म पश्ये बोल रहे हैं. दैट द होल सीक्रेट. हाउ टू डू दैट? तो यू गो ऑन ऑब्जर्विंग डीपर एंड डीपर एंड डीपर and stimulate and relax, stimulate and relax. That's the key essence that he gives. Laye sambodhiyet vikshaptam shamaye. By doing this principle of cyclic meditation, you will be able to go deep. Then finally, he gives things. Karmani abhipravruttaha api naiva kinchit karoti saha. When he reaches this wonderful state of total purity, then what happens? All types of siddhis will come to him. And he may be lured by the siddhis. Even that he has to remove and stay in that wonderful inner silence and relinquish all other things, attractions. Even the siddhis are attraction. Arima, Mahima, Garima, all types of ashtasiddhis will come to him. When he starts purifying the inner thing, then what has to be done? He will reach the highest phase. Then whatever he does becomes a right action. For other people it may look at it bad. It appears to be doing some action, but it is not doing action. This is the secret of our entire Mahabharata. Very easy to understand Ramayana, because Rama is Sarvaguna Sampanna. Mahabharata, Krishna's personality, very difficult to understand. Why? He is Chora. He is a thief. He has got so many wives. And what type of shrewd thing he did in killing Bhishma, Karna, Duryodhana, Dushasana, everybody. He uses his politics. So he is a big politician. Like that many people, many critics tell him. You cannot understand Krishna. Only when you understand this shloka, you understand the dimension. This is the Purusha, this thing. Karmani abhipravruttaha api naiva kinchit karoti saha. Please remember that example. Gopis once wanted to go and meet Krishna. Every day they used to go in the morning, come back in the evening. They had to cross a small river like Yamuna. And they would go in the boat and then come back. But then, on that particular day when they went, Yamuna was in floods. So no boatman was prepared to take them to the other shore. What to do? We were missing Krishna the whole day. What to do? Then they saw that there was a great Maharshi, Durvasa, who was there. If you go to Durvasa, he will solve our problem. They know how to butter Durvasa. They all went there and did all the praises for Durvasa and did with all the vinamrata, and Durvasa was very happy. And he said, my dear girls, what do you want? We want to go to our beloved Krishna, but Yamuna is in big spate, and how can we go? No boatman is prepared to take us there. When they were seeing that Durvasa, when they went there to Durvasa was taking nice breakfast, and then when he came out, Durvasa says, oh, that's a very simple problem. You go and pray to Mother Yamuna. Oh Mother Yamuna, if it be true that Durvasa is a Nitya Upavasi, ever fasting person Durvasa is, please give us the way. What? Ever fasting? Just now we have seen Durvasa eating nice breakfast. What is he talking? But they had great respect for Durvasa. They all go there and with their immense heart, with total faith in Durvasa, they say, Oh Mother Yamuna, we want to go to the other side to meet our beloved Lord Krishna. Please give us the way. If it be true that Durvasa is a Nitya Upavasi. Lo and behold, the river gives way for them and they just walk across the river bed and reach at the other side. Then the whole day they are in the immense company of the Lord Shri Krishna. While coming there, the same problem. Then Krishna gives them the sutra. Please go there and pray to Mother Yamuna. Oh Mother Yamuna, if it be true that Krishna is a Nitya Brahmachari, the celibate, the highest of the world, if it be so, please give us the way. And when they come there, they pray, and again the miracle occurs, and the river gives way, and the gopis come back. How is that? They are seeing Durvasa eating food. They know Krishna was with their company all the time. How can you say that Krishna is the highest brahmachari? How can you say that Durvasa is the ever-fasting person? This is shloka that says, Karmani abhipravruttaha api. Even though you are doing an action, naiva kinchit karoti saha. He is not doing anything. It's equivalent to not doing anything. Why? They are all the time immersed in that immense silence, immense blissful awareness, in Atma Sthiti, Brahmi Sthiti. They are all the time in that Gnana Sthiti. Therefore, they are the most purified personalities. And therefore, whatever they do is equivalent to doing nothing. You go to an ocean and carry one bucket of water. Will it make a difference for the ocean? In the same way, that infinite consciousness in which they live, whatever small action goes on, equivalent to not doing any action. Karmani abhipravruttaha api naiva kinchit karoti sa. That's the extolled stage. And if you understand, then you can understand Mahabharata. Otherwise, you can't understand Mahabharata. Every personality who is designated as a Maharshi appears to be doing all sorts of wrong things. Parashara, who was the father of Vyasa, he goes and has love on the way with Matsyagandhi. On the other side, Jamadagni is considered to be a great Maharshi of the times. He orders for a small mistake with his wife. He orders his son, come on, cut off her head. Such a cruel person it looks. Durvasa himself, he is all the time full of anger. And his anger used to be always in the tip of the nose. Any moment he can burst out. How can a Maharshi have this anger? You can't understand Mahabharata. Only when you understand this shloka in great depth, then you understand the whole dimension of Mahabharata. Karmani abhipravruttaha api naiva kinchit karoti saha. Even though they are doing action, it is equivalent to not doing the action. Well, there was an objection. Then everybody can claim like this, But there is a test. Shankaracharya was once going along with his disciples, and they had to cross a forest. And they were crossing a forest, he got very thirsty. So he wanted water. There was no water nearby. As they crossed the forest, there was a big, toddy shop. That is village drink, wine. For a person who is established in Advaita Sthiti, whether it is water, or toddy, or anything is all same. Therefore he goes there and drink. Our disciples look, wow, what is happening? Our teacher is drinking. Wonderful opportunity for us. They also go and they start drinking profusely. Shankara doesn't talk a word. He comes further into the city. As they enter into the city, there is a big cupola. Cupola is a thing in which you melt iron to have castings. So in that big cupola, the red hot iron was flowing down through that. And that has to go there next into the castings. The castings should be made. So Shankara goes there and takes that and goes on drinking. Hot iron fluid burning. Everybody open their eyes. What happened? If a person can do this, yes, then he is in the Advaita Sthiti. For him, water or toddy or hot molten iron is all same. That is the test given. kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum shaktaha. If a person can do that, then he is considered as a Maharshi. Jamadagni is a Maharshi because when his son Parashurama killed his mother, then he is very happy, and Parashurama asked, "Oh dear father, please bring my mother back to life." What does he do? Okay, bring her head, put her on that neck and puts that there. Then you take this mantra, that water, and he chants certain mantra and puts that, and she is back to life. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum shaktaha. If a person can do it, he is a Maharshi. No? That is the understanding. So when you have that power to do and undo things, then he is called as a Maharshi. And such a person is a person he has got all the siddhis, and he does everything for the good of the society. But we can't understand why they are doing. Nobody could understand why Parashara has to make love with that Matsyagandhi while crossing the river, and he should have sex with her. It appears what a silly thing she is doing. This person is doing. Even normal people, we don't do these things. A great Maharshi is doing this thing. No. It doesn't. But what is the result of that thing? Sadyojata Vyasa. Vyasa, the biggest of the Jnanis, was born because at the right time he was to be born. So he took that thing and brought Matsyagandhi back to virginhood. Kaumarya, he brought her back. That is the dimension. Therefore, if you have the capacity to do and undo things at the highest level with all the siddhis and powers, everything that you do is for the good of the society and the established. Why Durvasa was to jump and used to curse everybody? Because he wanted to establish dharma in the society. Everybody doing a small little error, they'll be terrified when Durvasa is coming, and they will do the right things. Establish dharma, and anger he used as a tool to establish dharma in the society. That's the highest stage, and that's the secret for that Krishna gives. And the end person reaches the moksha sthiti. That is the whole of the karma yoga that we saw in the thing. And first phase is tamas to sattva, then the region of conflict. Secret 1, to recognize akarma. Secret 2, to stay in akarma and do our activity. Number 3, to recognize action in non-action and cleanse all the inner dimension. And finally, become the master of masters. Mahagnani, highest karma yogi. And how does he leave the body? With complete voluntary will, he will leave the body and becomes one with ultimate. Like Ramakrishna said, a salt dog trying to measure the depth of the ocean becomes one with the ocean. The person becomes one with the infinite consciousness, and that is called moksha. And that is the whole dimension of the karma yoga that has been talked about in these 18 verses that we have selected from Bhagavad Gita. So let us contemplate on these thoughts. Sit straight, eyes closed. Relax all parts of the body. Take a deep breath and slowly breathe out. Let's go on observing the thoughts. ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿ ಕುಳಿತುಕೊಂಡು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಚಿತ್ತವೃತ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. आंख बंद करके अपने अंदर मन जो चल रहा है उसको देखते जाएंगे. The deep silence from where the thoughts are coming. Thoughts are like waves that are coming from the ocean. ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಯೋಚನೆಗಳು ಸಮುದ್ರದ ಅಲೆಗಳಂತೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ವಿಶಾಲವಾದ ಶಾಂತ ಸಾಗರದಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆದ್ದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ಮಹಾಸಾಗರದಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಯೋಚನೆಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. ಆ ಮಹಾಸಾಗರವೇ ಆನಂದ ಸಾಗರ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಕೂಡಿ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿ ಕುಳಿತುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಶಾಂತ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. जिस ढंग से महासागर में अलग अलग तरंगे उड़ते हैं, उसी तरफ मन में महाशांत सागर में चित्तवृत्तियां ऊपर आते हैं, फिर चले जाते हैं. इसको देखिए, महाशांत सागर ही आनंद स्थान है, आनंदमय कोश जिसको बोलते हैं, आनंद सागर है. ये हमारा कारण स्थिति है जिससे सब मन ऊपर उठता है. उगम स्थान है सब चित्तवृत्तियों का. उसके साथ साथ हम अपने आप को जोड़ देंगे और दिन भर उसी आनंद स्थिति में रहते हुए सब काम करेंगे. ये कर्म योग बनता है. Understand that all thoughts that are emerging are like waves in an ocean. That infinite ocean of silence, the space, Chitta Akasha, the purified state of infinite silence. The thoughts come and thoughts go. That state of wonderful inner bliss. Let us maintain, anchor ourselves, stabilize our inner silence. Throughout the day, let us spread that fragrance of love, bliss and harmony to everyone that we meet today. The whole day, let it be full of joy, full of ananda. Namaskar Mudra. Om Asato Ma